Hey guys, Ninja here, and welcome back to some more Enigmatica 8. In today's episode, we're going to get so much accomplished as we continue to work on finishing out our mega base. So let's go get started. As we get started today, I will go ahead and admit I don't have a big project for today's episode currently planned. But I do have a lot of little things that I want to work on and kind of fill in some areas of our mega base because we still have a lot of open areas. And the first thing we're going to do is just repair our pick real quick. It's getting kind of low. I noticed that. So we'll go ahead and throw some ingots on there and that should just about fill it up. We need to look into some of the higher tier materials. We may do that later. But to get started, we're going to go down one more floor. And what I want to do is build a whole bunch of cloches and fill in this area right here from that window down to here. And it should be about 34 of those. And then we're going to set up a whole bunch of farms so we can start gathering resources. Now we had a whole bunch of these running at our starter base. And when we moved over, we didn't set any of those back up. So we've just kind of been burning through what we've already have generated over the series. And we haven't been adding to that. So now we're going to go ahead and replace those farms so we don't burn up all of our materials. As I'm sure you noticed, the design of our cloche farm setup, it changed a few times while we were building it. I didn't have a plan in place before we started it, so it took a few tries before I figured out exactly how I wanted to set it up. Originally, I was going to use a whole bunch of import buses, and I'm like, why am I doing this? I replaced all those with logistical transport pipes into a single ender chest, which of course, as we know, is already getting put into our applied energistic system. On the other end, we have an ender tank with water in it, which is feeding all of the devices water. And of course, we got some ultimate universal cable with one flux point back behind there, providing them power. And with these 30 cloches, we have at least one cloche dedicated to everything that can be farmed with a garden cloche. Some of these go up to 3. So like we have 3 bamboo here, we have 3 hemp, and we have 3 wheat because bread is one of our primary food sources. We use hemp for string, which we use to turn into wool, which we use to craft all of our cables. So we go through tens of thousands of hemp. So I wanted a whole lot of that. Some of this stuff we probably will never use, but I wanted to be able to say that we have a farm for everything that can be farmed with a garden cloche. We even have 2 mushrooms. We also went ahead and decorated this floor and got rid of all the torches, so we added our black stone. We added this little balcony. I'm not sure how I like this, but because of the way we built this building with the exterior and then moving into the interior, some things didn't line up good, like this window. It looks good from the outside, but from the inside it did not line up with the floor. So we added this little stair step up to it. Let me know what you guys think, or if you have any suggestions. We got rid of the diorite in between our cables here and added some glowstone. I think that looks pretty cool. We added in some of our steel railing, but other than that, we've got a open floor ready for more stuff if we have anything that we need to put down here. But we still got quite a bit of area left in our mega base, and we're about to fill some more of that up here in just in a moment. But I think what we're going to do now is head up to our foundry, because I think I found a material that's better than what we're using for our tools and our sword. So I was looking through our fantastic foundry book, and the material that I found from the tier 4 category that I felt like we could create in large quantities and have easy access to, and would be better than the steel that we're currently using on our cleaver and the bronze that we're using on our pick and our other tool, our matic, I think is what we have. Bronze matic, yes. It also has a rose gold piece, so we'll probably look at replacing that as well. We'll just have to see. But essentially the material that we found is linoleum from Tinker's Construct. Now this has existed for quite some time. It's a combination of cobalt and ardite, or I should say it used to be. Now it's a combination of cobalt and ancient debris. Since they've added ancient debris in the nether to vanilla Minecraft, they have replaced ardite with ancient debris for the recipe, which I don't know how I feel about that. There are several things with this updated Tinkers that is really cool, and they've expanded it quite a bit, but in other ways I feel like it's a huge step back. One of those is not being able to alloy metals in the highest tier of the foundries. And because of that, Ninja has made a bit of an oopsie. I tried to use this and it filled it up with a bunch of random stuff. I don't know how I got all of this from cobalt and ancient debris. So now I have to worry about getting this out. But you know what? That is a problem for future Agro Ninja. What I ended up having to do is set up a kiln, and we use this to combine cobalt and ardite to get our linoleum. What we're going to do now is stick that linoleum in our foundry and smelt it down, which we do have to use blazing blood, which is why we broke our pipe here and we added a bucket of blazing blood. We don't have a whole lot of this, so we'll have to fix that. Oh no, we should be able to get those now because we have the blazes. All right, so now we have some linoleum, and we are going to get our casts. We're going to need a pick, a bronze blade, and let's go for, what is on the matic? Let's take a look at that real quick. Tinker Station. The matic is, okay, it's this circle thing. Let's replace the, before I do anything, why did I use rose gold? Let's take a look and see. Durability, is it the mining speed? I think it's the mining speed, but I don't think it will be as good as, and there's also the enhanced, is it'll be as good as linoleum. Well, the mining speed's not as good. So what we'll do is we'll replace the other side of that, which was the axe head. All right, now that we've got our cast, we can come over here, plop that down, right click, and you can't see it because of the shaders, but it is working. There it is right there. I guess you could see it, it was just really faint. All right, we'll flip that out for our cleaver. And this one will probably take the longest. There we go. And we'll do the last one which is going to be our pickaxe head. It's kind of crazy that we're this far into the game and we're still using bronze tools. But to be honest, bronze is a little OP. You can get it fairly quickly, and there really isn't many tier 4 materials that are really worth using. It's just the trade-off of the pains of getting it versus just continuing to use bronze. All right, so we're going to go over here. We're going to take our pick, and let's see what it does. So before we had 1945 durability, and what is the mining speed? Does it not tell me what the mining speed is? I can't see what it is. It's pretty good. Oh, it's over here. Mining speed is 9.44. Oh no, that's with the upgrade. What is it before? Well, regardless, our durability is going up significantly. I'm not as worried about the mining speed because what is this +7? I don't know what that does. Depth mining, +7 momentum damage. All I know is that our durability is going up a lot, which is the most important thing for us because we do a lot of vein mining. Besides, we also have 2 of those bronze picks, so now we have them identical. It just one is now Mekanism instead of bronze. All right, so we're going to take our cleaver and we're going to add a blade to it. So before, I guess I could have looked at it that way. So attack damage is 12.88, which is what I'm most concerned with, and attack speed. So look at that, it went up a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. But you also got +3 momentum damage, which wasn't on there before. We still have lifesteal and neutral damage. Was that on there before? Yes, it was. So pretty awesome sword. All right, we're gonna take that. And now let's do our Matic. Of course, the durability is going up on that. And our mining, let's see, where's mine speed? 16. It's staying the same. All right, so we're going to take that. And now we've fully upgraded our primary tools. I'll work on getting these fluids out of here later. But I think what we're going to do now is we're going to work on moving our dye setup and our lithium production setup over from our starter area. And when I say move, we're not going to actually move them. Like with most everything else, we're just going to kind of copy, maybe expand and optimize that setup here with new materials. But let's go ahead and get started on that. So we did get 2 of the 3 processes over at our starter base we wanted to move replicated to our mega base. The last one we probably won't move at all because I forgot about the first half of that process, and that's generating the liquid and gas lithium. We would have to set up some additional machines over here that I don't really want to get into unless we really need it. I just processed some lithium because we will need some for upgrading our induction cell, which we're going to do in just a moment. But other than that, I really don't think we're going to need any more lithium for this series, so we're just going to leave it over there for now. But we did move over our process for crafting the 16 types of concrete, which we're going to need later in the series, as well as our dyes, which we use for a lot of things. We use it for the concrete, we use it for making our cables, and really was the only thing we were having to go back and forth for. So now we don't have to do that anymore. As far as our concrete, we already had an ultimate injection factory getting fed water vapor. So all we had to do was craft the patterns for the concrete, which you can see here we've done. We've also crafted the patterns for the concrete powders, which we put in our assemblers downstairs. So now, as long as we have the dye component, we can process up as much concrete as we want. And we've moved our dye setup to this back wall on the second floor down. We kind of filled that area up there. It's a little bit more compact than it was before, and it's a little bit more upgraded. So our machines are now tier 2. We're using the same planter, block breaker, and fertilizer combo. And we also are still using a catch can in case any petals break and get caught in our can, because we have these set up for a filter, so they only accept these items. So I don't want them getting stuck in our block breaker. And I didn't put back the little redstone automatic export. I'll just do it manually, because with them all tier 2, I've noticed that it doesn't really do that anymore. So I wanted to go ahead and leave it just in case though. And we still have a chest for inputting petals into the system. It's just a little easier to get to. And over here is where we're going to keep them stored. I probably could have figured out a way to automate this a little bit better, but I kind of like having little manual things like this to still do. Can't automate everything. I mean, I guess you could, but it's fun to have little things like this to come do. We did go ahead and craft a tier 4 stack upgrade, so now we can stack these down a little bit better. And just to demo this, we can go ahead and craft some. We'll grab some that we're a little short on here. We use quite a bit of purple, and we just have to put these in the chest and you'll see it go to work. As you can see, it's quite a bit faster than the old setup, and it takes up less space, and the cables are a little bit better hidden. Now we're going to head up to our workshop and work on upgrading our induction cell matrix. I know I said we were headed to our workshop, but we actually need to head downstairs because we're going to try to reuse the existing components. That way we can save the power and not have to rebuild all that power, although it's going to still drastically go up and really isn't that big a deal. I wanted to stop here and show you guys this. I kind of redesigned this a little bit. I like it a little bit better. I'm still not 100% sold on it. It's just the awkwardness of the interior layout, having to change the size of this hole. But for now, we'll leave it. I may figure something out between the next episodes. If you can't tell, the focus on this episode and the last couple episodes, and even more so going forward, is all about finishing this build, because it's a little bittersweet, but we are working on wrapping up this series. And the most important goal is not the janky quest book. It's finishing our mega build, which I am so pleased with. It has turned out so good. But anyways, back to our current plan, which is upgrading our induction cell matrix. I really don't want to lose this 25 billion power. And before we start tearing this apart, let's just make sure this one's still hooked up. So it should be feeding from source and exporting into main. Okay, we should be good. We got a little bit over a 3 billion buffer. All right, so let's pull the, wait a minute, hold on. No, this is backwards. Oh, that's hilarious. These are correct. So these are inputting in. No, these are wrong. The power is getting fed through up here because we're outputting here. So yeah, this is taking power and adding it to the network. These are feeding in, and these are adding to the main. All right, yeah, so yeah, that's backwards. Well, this is the one we're working on anyway, so we haven't even been using our big one. All right, we're gonna tear this out. And only thing is, I don't think it'll let us use these for auto crafting because it's not gonna register as the right type of block. It might. We'll just have to see because it has the power in it. We'll drop those in our system, and we're gonna go to. I mean, I guess we could craft. Let's just try it. Let's see what happens. Is it skipping the advanced one? It appears it is not available one. Oh yeah, it needs 16. All right, let's start this process. This might take a while. And which one were we crafting? We were crafting the ultimate induction provider. Now we need to do the induction, the other one. That was the provider, the induction cell. All right, this may take a little bit of time to craft, so we're just gonna sit here and give it a moment. We did get our ultimate induction provider and sail. We're gonna go ahead and put these back. The sail goes up top, and unfortunately, I don't think it used that power. So we just lost 25 billion FE. Ah, that's sad. Oh well. And we're gonna put our casing back on, and it should rebuild. And yeah, it's gonna slowly start building back up. But I mean, we are generating 500,000 FE a tick roughly. Yeah, right at 500,000 FE a tick. I mean, and now we can store 1.6 trillion FE. That is a major accomplishment. To be honest, I think I've only done the ultimate one other time in my Minecraft career. We're gonna go ahead and reset these up so they're correct. Now they may have been the right way. We wanted them set up just like this one is right here. So we want source feeding it. All right, yeah, that's the way we want. We want source feeding it. So that would be the flux points. Yeah. And we need to switch it to source. It should start filling up. Oh yeah. And we're gonna flip this one to source. We need our configurator so we can change these. All right, flux point. This should be source. Yep. And then we're gonna do main. Output into main. And that should have us back to normal. And we should be draining this cube up here. No, wow, is it already got that much power? Wow, that's impressive. We've already got 1.3 billion. It's just generating that kind of power. Oh, that has me concerned. No. That's literally how much power we can we can generate. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna break this. We don't need any of this anymore. And if we hear our Witcher go nuts downstairs, we know we've done something wrong. Oh, that would be bad. That would make me really sad. All right, let's put this stuff up. We don't need it. And if we just double check, we should be, yeah, still going in, and then this should be feeding our network. All right, I think we're good to go. And we'll come look at this once it's full. I mean, it's going to take a while. Even at 500,000 FE a tick, it's going to take a while to fill up 1.6 trillion FE. I think what we're going to do to finish up this episode is put together a little project that just kind of hit me while we were working on this episode. This is the most unfinished area of our mega base, and I have something to go in here. And I think it's going to look really cool. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Well, if you was confused before, it should be painfully obvious. We've built an aquarium. I have been struggling with what to do with this area for a while, and it just kind of hit me today. I'm going to build a big aquarium. I love adding nature elements to my builds, like the trees that we have on our roof and around the building, our little mini aquarium. And I was like, you know what? Let's turn this into one gigantic aquarium. We don't really have anything naturally spawned in yet, but I'm sure fish will spawn in there. You can kind of see up above, which if we fly up here, you can see we added in a glass floor up here. I think that's really nice. What we're gonna do now is let some axolotls go. So we're gonna make this an axolotl sanctuary, and we're gonna name these as we place them, so hopefully we can do this really quickly. We'll do them one at a time. We'll jump down in here. We'll place this guy. Well, I said we were. There we go. Hey, little guy. Come here. Come here. You're gonna be Leroy. All right. And this one gonna be Frank. Did it take the name tag? Yeah, it did. Oh, let's get some air real quick. This would have been a lot easier with some water breathing potions, but you know what? A smart person would do that. All right, so let's drop another one in. Oh, get back here, get back here. You're gonna be Mike. Did it take? No, it didn't take. There we go. And next up, we have Gary. Enjoy your new home, Gary. I just randomly named these. I thought it would be funny. All right, we got some air. Next up, we got Craig. And we have a few more. Fred. Fred. Oh, there it took. Let's get us some air. And I think we got one more left. Yep, one more left. And you're gonna be Ted. Where you going, Ted? Get back here, Ted. All right, now they're all named. And we have an axolotl sanctuary. I think it turned out really good. I'm kind of new to placing most of these blocks. I haven't really played with a lot of the underwater blocks, and I was trying to place them before putting water in, and they turned to dry coral. So obviously they need water to stay fresh, and they also can't go into like a multi-block because then they turn to dried out coral. But I think it's turned out great. It'll look even better once some fish spawn in with them. But we're gonna put our glass back and call this a done project. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this. I spent entirely too long working on this. We only got a few more things to do before we go ahead and wrap this episode up. And one of those is pull out 10 more 64K drives. And the reason we're doing that is, one, because you can see from here, our storage is just about full. So we're gonna go ahead and add some more. And also because I noticed earlier that we never got rid of this, and this is where all of our cobble's been being stored. So we're gonna set an import bus on here. And I thought I had one on me. There's the capacity, acceleration, and import bus. And we're gonna pull all this into our system and get rid of this black hole unit. And that is the other reason why we need 10 more 64K drives. So I'll keep an eye on that. We may need more, but I think that is just about gonna wrap us up. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. We got so much to accomplish today. Everything from our cloche farm to our axolotl sanctuary. If you did enjoy today's episode, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions or feedback, please leave a comment. And don't forget to subscribe. This is Agro Ninja, and that's a wrap.